Hi guys, Christian here. In today's video, we're going to go through what is happening with the world of initial decentralized finance and game offerings. As you know, the crypto market has been in turmoil for the last couple of weeks, and that doesn't lend itself to an ideal situation to have an initial offering. That means when a company launches its token on the market, typically trying to raise capital in order to be able to invest more in their project, either their game or their decentralized finance project. But in today's video, we're going to go through the top launch pads, what's going on, all the IDOs and IGOs on the horizon, and then a very special bonus at the end, what Microsoft is doing and where they're putting their time and energy right now in order to be able to capitalize on the metaverse. This is a really cool gaming project that I'm sure you guys are going to love. So without further ado, let's dive right into today's video. You can see the average returns basically by all-time high. DAOMaker usually dominates everything. You can see that their all-time high based on their IDOs is about 44 or 4,400%, which is 44x. And then based on the current, it's about 719, so about 7x. So out of all of the IDOs that DAOMaker does, you're seeing about 7x on them, which is amazing, right? I mean, you're taking your money, putting it in there and getting an IDO and then seeing your IDO value go up about 7x from every single one that you're in. GameFi being the next one, again, 7x. They actually have a much higher all-time high though of 6,600%, so 66x. So if you were to sell most of your GameFi IDOs at an all-time high, it would be a 6,600%, so 66x if you can time that, which nobody can. But even if you don't, you're getting on average, just based on the current token value, about 7x. RedKite, same thing, about 6-7x, and then you're getting about 4,700%, so just about the same as DAO. Seedify, which is one of my favorites and one that we have guaranteed allocations on, you're seeing about 4,800, so 48x, and then again 6.5x as far as the averages go. Trustpad, same thing, 2,600% and a 4x. Paid network, about 3,000% and a 3x. But you can see the average and the returns that you're getting from most of the top, at least 5 or 6 launch pads here. And we do have allocations on most of these. And so we're able to participate in most of the IDOs that are associated with them. So as far as it goes to DAOMaker, what's coming up on it, the big one is KingdomX, and this one's going to be released here soon. And you've got a couple of others, Codifight, Chainport, Omnia, Themis, and Muon Network. You can see some of their previous completed sales and just a couple of them. The big one that we were in was Spellfire, but the other ones, Hubble, I looked at, but just really didn't get behind that much. Remember that with all of these IDOs, the chances of them going to zero are much, much higher than the chances of them 100xing. So you want to be careful with every single IDO that you participate in. Some of these are extremely hyped and some of them are very, very long-term plays, but I always like looking at the ones that I think are going to have the highest potential, hopefully being able to get some money behind them, be able to see them develop over time, and then after you've seen that development, that initial portion of the team has actually put their time and effort into it, and if it gains that traction and starts to really develop, you can always buy in again, and you don't have to worry about missing out on most of these things, because the ones that are going to be here long term are definitely going to allow you that time frame, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years down the road, to still be able to get in and to take advantage of some of the upside. It might not be 100x, but it could still be 10, 20, 30x from that point forward. So those are always good things to look at as well. So as far as the KingdomX goes, you can see their social media right here. They've got a pretty good following, and it's a very big project. They've got a lot of different things going on right now when it comes to the metaverse, and this is being one of those big multi metaverse plays where it's going to be similar to a lot of what's happening in the space right now. You're going to have your role-playing game where you can go and attack other characters, have player versus player statistics, loot them, earn from them, and then you're going to be competing in this realm. They've got a lot of different things on their roadmap here, and they're going to be creating these steps as they go. But you know, it's again one of these really cool multiplayer metaverse games, and it's backed by some of the larger people in the space as well. It's also going to be a guild game, which is nice because you want to get guild games involved with these most of the mega projects, because you want to have people that are playing from all over the world. Some of them won't have the funds to be able to buy in and get these NFTs that are probably going to be necessary to compete, but you give them the ability by having guilds buy into the NFTs to have them rented, and then they use the NFTs in the game itself and go out and earn from it and are able to keep a portion of their earnings. So it's nice to see the guilds are behind this one as well. I think this could have a lot of potential behind it, so I'm excited about it. I think that it could be one of the good ones coming up here. I know it's on our roadmap. When it comes to GameFi, GameFi being one of my favorite launch pads, especially when it comes to games. We've already bought into MetaGods and some of the other ones that are out there, but you'll see that, you know, GameFi launches a lot of the bigger name projects. A lot of them get sold out extremely quickly, including some of the mystery boxes that they launch that are out there. So you can see what's going on right now as far as the token sales go. There's not a whole lot. I mean, these are all coming soon projects, so they're not right away. Bullieverse is going to be offered on a couple of other launch pads as well. I'll get into that a little bit more, and you can buy into these ones. We're going to be buying some Bullieverse. The partnerships behind GameFi are really good. You know, there's a ton of projects that have launched here, and then the GameFi tokens themselves and their past performance. I like it when Launchpads actually discuss and show you what they've done in the past. You know, some of these we've bought into, like Sidus, MetaGods, and Eartha and others, but you can see exactly what some of the returns were that they got and how much was raised as well. So, you know, the GameFi platform itself was 60x, and then some of the other ones are 20, 10, 5, 6x. So you can see some of the past projects and how they rank and what's been done. So GameFi being one of the really big partnership platforms when it comes to launching game projects, and when you see the amount of games that are out there right now, you really want to get behind a launch pad that has a very thought out process, and GameFi usually backs those projects that it knows are going to be, you know, the grade A games, the ones that have a chance to go up significantly, because they don't want to ruin their reputation or tarnish their reputation by launching something that isn't going to do that well or isn't going to be around long term. RedKite is another launch pad that I think has a great past performance, and therefore you can kind of look at what they're launching here. They do have Meta Run, which is coming up, and it's still TBA, so there's not a time frame on the horizon, unfortunately. And then they've got a couple of other ones here where you can see Quoth is coming up here in about 15 days. The whitelist ends. After the whitelist is over, that's when usually they'll allocate exactly how much you can buy the project for and how many tokens you can get up front. And then if those aren't sold at the end of the day, they'll have a first come first serve sale at the end that usually will allow you to buy in any of the tokens that weren't sold at the IDO for private investors or those that had staked or become a part of the whitelist. You can see some of their past completed sales that are on here. And again, RedKite, a really great platform for IDOs. Seedify, one of my personal favorites. I'll leave a link in the description as well, so that in case you haven't seen Seedify, you can watch my previous video and know all there is to know about getting your S-Fund tokens, staking them, getting into the ecosystem, and being able to participate in the Seedify funds projects. They launched some really great ones. As I talked about, and as was on the GameFi platform as well as Bullieverse, this is one that's going to be coming up here in about a day is the private sale, and then in 2 days is going to be the public sale. Bullieverse is going to be one of those metaverse projects, but it's got a little twist on it. You've got bulls that are going to be the main portion of the game here, which is interesting. All these metaverse projects have their own twist and what it is that they're going to be doing, but Bullieverse is really backed by a lot of big names. Again, has a huge social media following, and I believe that it's got a lot of potential. It's just a question of, when it comes to this potential, can it be realized? Can the team execute? And that's the question with all of these, but there is a lot of following behind it right now, and there is a lot of buzz. So I do think that the token is going to do well when it initially comes out. You can go to OpenSea. You can see that they're selling some of the NFTs out on OpenSea right now. So if you do want to take a look at what the Bullieverse NFTs are selling for, you can come on to OpenSea and you can see where their floor is. You know, you can buy one of these guys for about 0.1 ETH right now. and you can choose which ones, which attributes that you want to get, what they're going to look like. And if you want to play the game, here's where you can get your NFT in order to be able to play the game. Trustpad is another huge IDO platform, launches a ton of games and a ton of other projects that, basically it has a very good reputation for launching some very, very high performing IDOs. And you can see right now on their roadmap, they've got, this 2 crazy NFTs right now, Bullieverse, which is coming out. They're going to be listing theirs February 17th, and then Adroverse, which is going to be on their roadmap for February 16th. They've got Duckyland, Mechaniz, Mechaneum, Nest Arcade, and Animalia, which is it looks like a pretty good project coming up, a card game similar, but has a really big backing behind it. Endless Battlefield, this is another big name, and it's going to have a lot of really big backing. So it's still TBA, probably end of February, but you can see also too by their raise, they're going to be raising $500,000, where a lot of these other projects are going to be raising 100,000, 200,000. So you can kind of see some of the backing behind it when they're going to do that high of a raise and the anticipation there that's going to be going on. So Trustpad, another one of these launch pads that has got a lot of really good projects in the past and has a couple of really big names here coming up shortly. As a bonus, I wanted to make sure that you guys knew about Fight of the Ages. This is one of my favorite offerings that's going to be coming up here shortly. I am super psyched about this. It's backed, of course, by Microsoft, and Microsoft has made a big push into the metaverse here by acquiring a couple of big name, billion-dollar players. And so this has got a really huge following behind it already, and it's only going to get bigger. So Fight of the Ages is the name. It's going to be in beta here coming soon. You can see the trailer, and also to this Microsoft mesh, which looks insane. Take a look at this. This is so crazy. I mean, if you could be able to play a game where you can actually get into the game by reaching out virtually or, AR wise, and being able to take advantage of some of the in-game play, how cool is that? Super cool, super amazing. So this is going to be a cutting edge game. It's backed by a lot of really big names right now. There's going to be different worlds that you can play in. Take a look at that. That's super cool, right? I mean, you've got different worlds you can definitely play in. You're going to have different hero types and categories. So there's going to be about 15 different hero types that you can use and what you can play with when it comes to the game itself. That's cool. You've got all these items, of course, that are going to be NFTs inside the game, and each one's going to have a different cost. They're going to have a marketplace, so you can buy and sell these items. Of course, that's going to create a lot of volume and a lot of money that gets locked inside of the ecosystem itself. The lands that you can go through, so the story's ongoing. Their roadmap here, you can see from the roadmap that they're going to be doing a lot of the game creation here in 2022. And we're probably going to get to the end of 2022, quarter 3, quarter 4, when they're going to start to have their clan wars. You can build your clans, do all those kinds of things, which is going to be super cool, right? You can participate in the game and create these clans of people that are going to go out and do all of the different items and the different quests inside the game. The partners and the backers, this is what I always look at when it comes to some of these huge metaverse projects, to make sure that they're not going to be fly by night. These are going to be the big names that you're going to want behind you, because they're the ones that are putting in the big bucks, right? So Microsoft HoloLens, Azure, some of these names are huge gaming companies, and they're going to be on board to make this extremely successful as well. If you're interested in joining my private Discord server, I'll leave a link in the description down below. It's got everything from announcements to DeFi to gaming, play to earn, NFTs, and so much more, including a very special Ask Me Anything area where you can get every single question regarding DeFi answered. So until next time, I'll see you on the next video.